Slap its butt. Yeah.
Hello everyone. So today I'm going to be reviewing a Minecraft movie directed by Jared Hess. This was released only 5 hours ago. If you're wondering what this is a Minecraft sheep. So it opens back here. You're supposed to eat popcorn from inside. I'm mainly going to be talking about the movie today, my experience watching it, what I feel like you guys should take away from it. When it comes to kids movies, I always list the Lego movie as the standard, the exemplar, but I don't expect a lot of filmmakers to ever reach that standard because the Lego movie is a very solid movie. The story is written so uniquely to the IP that I don't expect a lot of movies to ever reach those heights. I have not seen much of Jared Hess's works. You may have seen Napoleon Dynamite, which is a cult classic, which gives off a signature comedic editing style, which is very unique to Jared Hess, and I expected a lot of that to translate over to a Minecraft movie. Those of us who are brave enough to admit, I think what we really want to take away from this film is that it's fun, it's humorous, it's authentic, it's faithful to the game. Despite all of the furore that is pretty much unavoidable at this stage, it might feel like you're watching a second-rate Jumanji or The Wizard of Oz, and critics were already panning it. Within the first few hours of its release date, Rotten Tomatoes is giving it a 52%. The very generous IGN is giving it a 6 out of 10, but I wanted to see it for myself. So I went in at 10 a.m, there was a 10 a.m. screening at my local theater, and we came out at 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
Initial thoughts.
Bad.
Bad? But you did laugh.
I think there were some moments where the humor did land a lot more than I expected. And that's how it all went. This is a very, very silly movie, and intentionally so. So did it succeed in being a very silly kids movie? Yeah, 100%. However, just because it's unapologetically a kids movie does not grant it an excuse to not do any better. Within the first few minutes, we kind of knew what was going on. It was very simplistic storytelling. Nothing is left to surprise, especially since the first 5 minutes of the movie was basically just exposition. And the entire world of Minecraft, which is what this movie hinges upon, is revealed. There's no magic, there's no suspense, there's no excitement surrounding the entire construction of the Minecraft world. The vast majority of the quality of this movie rests upon the recreation of Minecraft gameplay mechanics, and 99% of that is accomplished with surgical level precision. If there's anything that this movie is going to tell us, it is the fact that they understand the game. Although at times the movie will come off as an encyclopedia of Minecraft knowledge. So rather than the movie feeling like it's made by players who played the game, it feels like it's made by people who've been explained the game. It's a subtle difference, but it is noticeable. Now, there's a lot of talk and criticism about how live action will work and whether it does work in the movie. I think it does. In fact, it does ground the movie to some degree. Not saying this can't be achieved with animation. In fact, I do believe that will be done better with animation, but it doesn't fail in this regard. The world actually looks stunning. The colors consistently pop out of the screen, and at no point in the movie does it feel jarring at all. The villagers being my absolute favorite in the way that they moved around, they looked, the way they behaved. Now, that's notwithstanding all of the live action trailers that they were showing before the film even started. So they were showing Lilo and Stitch, How to Train Your Dragon. It's like they were just preparing us for what's to come. It's just that they focus so much on VFX and readapting the world in a live action experience that they've forgotten to completely write an actual movie here. It relies too much on slapstick gags, and its characters are severely underdeveloped to the point where you don't even care about any of these people. Now let's talk about Jack Black for a second. So he plays Steve, and he makes the grand entrance that we all expect. He runs around, jumps around, screams everything. He plays a version of Steve, his version of Steve, but no one really knows what Steve is anyway. I wouldn't be surprised if Jack Black was just given a script and told to improvise most of his lines. There were fears from the trailers that it would just be a movie with Jack Black explaining everything to the other characters, sort of like a show and tell aspect. That really did dial back in the film, so that was good news. Although there were very, very cheesy lines that you'll obviously notice when you watch it, but packaged all together, the movie does feel at times like a meme machine. I must confess that sitting in the theater with about 20 odd people, every time Steve or Jack Black spat out a line that was very memeable from the trailers, the kids back there were heckling the hell out of it. Lines like,
Flint and Steel. I'm Steve. Chicken jockey.
all that stuff plus a lot more. The kids knew what they were doing. I think the movie knew what it was doing as well.
Chicken jockey.
Oh man, let's go.
Flint and Steel.
Now, Dawn and Garrett are given backstories, but they're never really fleshed out at all. But the kids, Natalie and Henry, are unsurprisingly the most fleshed out characters. I'm not really surprised. The movie is very kids directed, so having the kids be the most fleshed out characters makes a lot of sense. There's a whole backstory for Natalie's character that is not really explained, but is touched on to some degree, and we're just really expected to accept it. I did chuckle at some points here and there, especially with Jennifer Coolidge's subplot with the villager. That was the best moment. Didn't really link up at all to the rest of the film, but I thoroughly enjoyed every moment that Jennifer Coolidge was seen dining with a villager. That was hilarious. I wanted the whole movie to be about that, but that wasn't the case. Some critics are labeling this movie a snooze fest. I don't think it really is a snooze fest. In fact, I wasn't really bored at any point in time. At the very least, I was entertained, and that's kind of what I wanted to get out of it. So it doesn't really try to do anything. There's a villain story that appears in the Nether, and sometimes the goals are a bit mishmashy, and the story arcs are, if they're existent, very, very simple. And so for a movie that's tagline is you have to be creative to survive, I just don't think it lives up to that tagline at all. They just focus so much on readapting everything in the game to the big screen that they kind of forgot to write a cohesive story that resonates with the audience. So while I feel like the movie isn't good, it's definitely a fun time for a lot of people. For what it's worth, it is a very, very faithful adaptation to the game. It may prove to be a worthwhile experience looking at something that's never really been done before. It's not really that long of a film, just go see it on the weekend or something. You might take a few things out of it. Although I do think they could have done a little bit more with this. I don't really do movie reviews. This might be the only time I ever do it on this channel. It's a very different video, obviously. Hope you guys don't mind it, but I wanted to give my thoughts. Let me know what your thoughts are. And as usual, I'll see you guys in the next video.